See how well LIMMP's able to do here. Up against the Tiny. And sort of overall then, do you have a drafter that you do prefer coming into this game? So
I would much prefer to be the PA on Alliance's draft. I think Nikobaby last game surprised a lot of us with his ability to basically just do as much damage and be as tanky as he was on Weaver. And a lot of that was on the back of the space that S4 made for him. And I think we're kind of seeing a similar recipe. I think S4 should have a great early game. It's not going to be until later they can deal with Timbersaw. And PA's really only weakness is the same as Riki. She lacks wave clear early. She hates to have people playing up in her face and running at her. So in this case, she's not really going to worry about the tower push as much as it is the Tiny that's going to be trying to invade her farm. That's what I'm worried about for the PA.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Topson's able to make those moves in the mid game and really cause issues for Nikobaby when he's still sort of in that farming phase of the game. So far with the lane setup up top, but Saksa is trying to do their best to put the pressure onto these two. I mean, is Nikobaby going to farm all right up here? Can FNG do enough to keep him safe in this lane?
Yeah, PA usually only struggles if they can dive, and they can harass her a lot. He may have to buy a little bit of extra regen. Prophet's a great support for that, though, because he can always TP back base and buy some himself or pick up anything carried out. Rubick Brewmaster is a nice lane because you have the Cinder Brew that's easily activatable by the Fade Bolt, but I really am only afraid of kill lanes if I'm PA. He doesn't necessarily mind just daggering from afar. Her base damage nowadays is decent ever since they've been giving her that buff over the course of patches. Oh, it looks like he's going for the phase boots. I like this a lot against every hero that isn't Tiny. So I guess that's a bit of a concern, but it's nice in lane as well.
Talking about the Riki down bottom, Alliance doing a great job of really harassing mid-one in this laning stage. Taking huge amounts of damage there from the two of them.
Yeah, they expertly counter this Riki. Timbersaw, absolutely nothing you can do about it from Riki's perspective. And PA being the matchup, as good of a matchup as she is, I would be thoroughly impressed if mid-one carries this. I feel like this is a very hard Riki game. And I will learn a lot.
Never die.
Not off to a great start. I mean, she said it's a hard game for the Riki. And Alliance, they started off with a first blood against him. This lane proving to already be a little too much for mid-one to handle and survive against.
That's actually crazy. Handsken just went for the mana burn. Spike Carapace really isn't that great in this lane against the low instance of damage from Riki Blink as well as the Shadow Demon Poison. So he's just being super annoying and saying, hey, mid-one, if this lane wasn't hard enough for you already, here's less mana for you.
We'll see if mid-one can play a little more safe as well. Again, just these two. Every time he tries to step up, making it very hard for mid-one to find his farm down here. And, you know, obviously last game we saw mid-one have a very tough time on the safe lane Ember, so eyes definitely on him to see what he's going to be able to do this time round. As top lane, attempts to go on to FNG. Nikobaby's going to jump over towards Saksa. FNG will go down. Can Nikobaby get the trade kill? Yeah, he'll be able to. Oh, the Fairy Fire. Indeed, he wasn't quite ready for that. Did start to back off, and that's going to cost him the opportunity to finish that kill off as Nikobaby won't be able to find him in return. Meanwhile, around the mid, Handsken sweeps in, able to secure this arcane rune for LIMMP. A very juicy bottle refill for him as well. Something that Topson would have, he's going to miss out on a lot here as Topson low on the mana front too. And bottom, yeah, I'm just consistently seeing mid-one just being unable to really step up to the wave here.
He's look at his build for Riki. That shows he knows he has absolutely no aggression potential here as he is meant to weather this Timbersaw storm. The problem I have with this Tiny last pick is that against Timber, if your carry can't naturally stay in lane against it and defend the tower, that usually you have like a mid laner like Ember or something that's going to go bottom and just push the wave, distract the Timbersaw as much as possible. I don't really know who that is for it. I don't know who they bring down here to stall the Timbersaw's early momentum pushes with the catapults as The thing that is Timbersaw is so nice here is he flourishes against carries that have to stay in lane. If you're a carry that can kind of just dip out and go jungle, Timbersaw loses a lot of his early effectiveness in terms of shutting down the opponent carry, but Riki has no backup plan.
Mid lane. Getting in onto Topson, but Handsken off the mark there with the stun. Topson able to do a good job of juking it. Turns around to look to kill off Handsken, but the Remnant's out. Protective disruption there from No-Tail. The poison won't kill Handsken, and Topson does end up going down at the end of it all.
Yeah, you were mentioning he was struggling for mana, and he was 5 mana short of the Avalanche.
So there's chase here from LIMMP. Another beautifully placed Remnant. I mean, really getting the work done there with that Arcane Rune. 2 kills for LIMMP in the mid.
Yeah, this match can be rather toxic with these early lineups from heroes like Timbersaw and Nyx, where you just can't deal with them. And it makes your whole entire game awkward because that movement mid is allowed to happen because Nyx is just not needed at all bottom. And the snowball effect is insane how quickly it comes into play. S4 is going to certainly be looking to apply a lot of pressure with this catapult. Bottom lane, he is level 6 as well, so that amps up his damage and aggression to threaten anybody who defends. Really interesting to see what OG does about
tower is under attack.
See, in the jungle, Handsken and FNG started to evade. Doing a lot of damage onto it, No-Tail here, but able to make his way around the tree and body block. But I mean, yeah, as you say, it's definitely going to be a question of how on earth did they get these items onto Riki. Like, can midone go elsewhere on the map? As you said, he can't really hit the jungle creeps. Top lane, we'll see Topson coming in with the rotation onto Nikobaby, but he had pretty much a full wand. He's going to be off and into the trees, and they can't hunt any further for him. So this move not going to be successful here from the two of them, as Nikobaby's able to sneak himself away. And yeah, this is just time wasted here for OG.
Really good itemization from Nikobaby, having this wand raindrops to be able to survive through that anticipated tiny burst.
Midone having to be very cautious there. He gets caught by that Remnant. He'd be dead for sure.
Bottom tower's already dead, by the way. I didn't even notice that.
Minutes. Yeah, he just finished it off. I mean, this is, yeah, that bottom lane. I mean, it pretty much what went as you would sort of expect it to do, right? So you've got this Riki lane. They're never going to be able to hold off this Timber's early pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't see anything that OG's entire lineup could do to stop him. S4 now going to play his own dead lane, making sure that there's no tower pressure up top aiming out from OG. This is a really nice way to enable heroes like PA. They want to sit taking the safest farm on the map, chilling bottom. Yeah, Tiny's going to take over bottom. I guess I expected Riki to stay bottom, but he's going to be jungling a small camp around mid. I don't know. It's not like a flame. I don't think there's much a better option for midone. That just does not feel good what the game looks like.
I mean, I guess at this sort of stage, what for OG, the real pressure is going to be on Topson and Step to just make moves and keep the game going to allow midone to get the time to get his farm.
Yeah, I love what Topson's doing here. He knows he can't really kill Nikobaby, but he knows Nikobaby can't really mess with him. So he's just being annoying.
Look at that.
Well, they're going to bring in the pair of hands here to try and have a go on to Topson. Handsken joining to try and push Topson back, but as you say, Topson still very much knowing his strength. See Top trying to get aggressive on 1v4, but yeah, he's not really under any pressure at all. In fact, Step might be forced to get out of it as he has to TP away from S4. As it really does seem at the moment nothing they can do about this. LIMMP comes in from the side with the DD ready to go, blows up Saksa, and the pressure will be onto another tier 1 tower. So not only S4's presence and laning down bottom, allowing them to get that very early tier 1 tower taken from the safe lane of OG. Now moving up to this top lane, he's sort of pushed them out of this area of the map, and he's getting pressure onto a second tier 1 already at 9 minutes in.
Top tower is under attack.
Whenever I watch teams like OG, I feel like I'm watching 5D chess, where I don't fully understand how they intend to win this game. And right now, if they win this game, at this very moment, I have no idea how that's going to happen. And I know it doesn't seem like they're down by that much, but PA is getting way better farm than the Riki, and Timbersaw. I guess PA is only ahead by 100 gold. Wow, what? I just tuned into the network. Huh. Never mind. Maybe I'm mistaken. I just see all this stuff and I'm like, yeah, PA's farming bottom. Timbersaw is #1 on the net worth. Void Spirit's game's perfectly fine. Like all 3 cores on Alliance are perfectly happy. You'd rather have the good start on Timber than PA because Timber's the one that's making space. So, man, OG, I feel like they just neglected to respond to Timber, which is a hero, in my opinion, at least, requires a response. They look to invade or kill Nikobaby bottom, but he's Spidey senses are tingling here.
He's gonna stick at least around the tier 1. He's got FNG to back him up.
Radiant's top tower
and do you like this from Nikobaby? He's got the Deso queued up, so not going for the Battle Fury. I guess going for something that's going to allow him to play in a way that will really punish this whole time where mid-1, he knows mid-1 has to get the Battle Fury on the Riki. And he's going to be able to be so active before mid-1 has his core items to fight with.
I don't know how much I like this or not.
Mid. Bringing on Saksa.
Radiant's top tower.
So you see that OG's electing to just play completely away from the Timbersaw, ignore him, but that's costing them all their tier 1s because wherever S4 walks, bottom first, then top, now mid. Topson's trying to make as much space and action happen as possible in the other lanes, but does killing a Nature's Prophet really matter all that much as LIMMP TP's there?
I mean, definitely not. If it costs Topson his life, Remnant's going to be off the mark. Handsken impales down. Topson's going to get burst out. Except he's out with the TP. If they got anything to stop it, they haven't. But as you say, Topson with the aggression, sure, he gets the profit, but he loses his life.
I would say space from Topson and Seb, but I don't really know space what it's for, you know? I like this TP on from FMG to the high ground. This is one of the cute things you can do on Nature's Prophet support. You can do it on core too, but you know, you got nothing else to do when you're support. He is only level 4, so he's basically just a ward for his team at this point.
And S4 still very much seemingly in unkillable territory. I mean, does it ever sort of, you know, when are they going to be able to kill this Timbersaw this game?
It looks like Seb is on Brown Boots Spirit Vessel, so that's the timing they're looking for. But they didn't get any new charges bottom after using it to be aggressive on FNG there because he died too far away from the brew. S4, if they can hit this window where they get a Spirit Vessel charge before this Yules comes out, that I think is the narrow window they will have to hit. S4 is going to single-handedly take mid tower while it takes a 4-man commitment from OG in order to get the trade.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Topson. Well, he's got to probably TP out immediately here.
Dire's top
if he wants to live, he's going to start making his way out. He's out in time.
It's good space.
Yeah.
When you're a mid and you have a hero like Riki that just has to farm all the good farm, all the nice safe farm, and he's got no other options, you have to get creative. You have to take some super dangerous farm, force the enemy team to come respond to you without dying, and that's exactly what Topson's doing here. The overwhelming blink.
Yeah, we'll see if he follows up on that. That'll be a pretty wild first item rush, the complete overwhelming blink. See the haste rune's going to be grabbed up by S4. I mean, S4 could look to run down Topson here with that. The L-back might have disruption. Dagger out attacks of a LIMMP falls. But the brew split out and that extra bit of control to keep S4 held in place with the Wind Panda. Comes back down though. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything aggressive onto S4. They've got to start running away from it. He's still got the remainder of that haste going. They'll grab the combo and the Spirit Vessel. That might just do it. He's out to the side of the Timber Chain, but the Spirit Vessel allows them to get the kill. Mid-1 in with a finishing hit.
Oddly enough, they had to wait till the Brewmaster ulti ended because he still gets the Spirit Vessel charges while he's in Brew Split, but he can't use it until he comes out. So that was really well played by OG. That's step 1. The thing about this Nikobaby item choice is that there's 2 ways you can go. You can try to capitalize on the fact that Riki's not able to fight by going the Deso like he is, or you can just capitalize on the fact that he's going to be passively farming too, and you outscale him, so you just go for the passive farm route. And he's choosing the former. I feel like in NA they always choose the latter, so I don't exactly know how this one's going to play out.
Handsken was sneaking around there with all the sentries they had set up.
Look at that.
Come in, drop the...
15-minute Battle Fury for midone. Honestly, pretty damn good, all things considered. Really bad lane. Riki has no farming steroid to enable him to get that sooner, like Jug-type heroes and Troll-type heroes do.
No, I mean, absolutely, considering the start he had. And as you say now, when you see midone actually being still able to achieve this sort of Battle Fury timing, does that makes you a bit worried, a bit more worried for the build that Nikobaby's going in return?
It just means that they have to get a lot done with the Deso and the timing they hit. They can't be content with the status quo of both teams farming at this point, because Riki will just be much happier with the items he's bought compared to the PA.
Top, no tell. Gonna find the setup onto LIMMP, but just step by his side. Topson starting to move in as well. Alliance, they are beginning to set up in the jungle. Actually, LIMMP maybe seeing if he can get the connection onto Seb. Seb, no split available, he's out of mana, and he's out of life.
Profit ulti.
Let's see if they can get anything more out of this demonic purge, slowing down LIMMP for now. Over to the side, Saksa. He's trying to get out, and he'll make it away. No TP cancel there between the two of them. Same to be said. As those surrounding Notel can't put a stop to his escape either. So, I mean, I'm definitely very intrigued to see if Topson does indeed do this. I mean, it's not a lot of times you see the full blink, well, pretty much no time, where you see a hero that wants to rush the completed blink upgrade as their pretty much first and only major item.
There's one player in the world that'll do it. It's probably Topson.
I mean,
it's almost got that Ags.
Yeah.
1,200 gold off. That's really important against Riki specifically. Heavily reliant upon spellcasting to survive. Missed the dust bottom. Narrowly missed.
Yeah, very close there. midone just able to jump outside of the range of it. And still, you know, as every moment passes, midone getting that little bit further ahead of Nikobaby's farm on the PA. They've got to get some action done with this Deso.
Suddenly, I'm really liking what OG's doing here. That tends to be how it goes when I'm watching OG in drafts where it doesn't really make sense to me what they were doing. They just killed the Timbersaw once. Suddenly, the momentum on the map, it's palpable. You can feel that's kind of gone. They've taken all the tier 1s, and now what? Oh, the sentry flipped the Nick a bit when he walked out of it. I was wondering what he was doing.
I mean, and you definitely seem right. It seems that, you know, I mean, what do Alliance go for here? I mean, all the tier 1s taken off the map. Like, what is the next move? Are you trying to make smoke moves with this PA and the Deso? You know, who are you trying to hunt down?
That's why I'm really surprised.
They're going to try and get the jump in, but again, Saksa. That's stolen spike camper, stopping the initial burst from Alliance. And now Saksa maybe trying to see if they can get the setup of the turnaround. Disruption used, but already Nikobaby finds himself his first target. It's up to Notel. Now a turn over towards Topson. Then he goes, they'll get the two of them. Saksa trying to fight with the help of 7, his primal split. Nikobaby's going to end up going down as midone gets the kill. Nikobaby's dead. Handsken also falling. As, you know, now FNG is in it. As midone and Seb, they're going to look for him. FNG goes for the TP out, but they got the stun. FNG going down. Is that all? And we'll see S4. I mean, I don't think the three of them will be able to do anything about him. Yeah, S4's going to be able to step away, but this has got to be a big concern, right, for Alliance, Brian, is, you know, this is fights where your PA has got a Deso, an item to fight with, but you're losing to the team that has the Riki with the Battle Fury. midone's getting more out of these fights than Nikobaby is.
Yeah, my honest interpretation, and this is with the presumption that I'm 100% willing to be wrong, is that I see them take all these tier 1s, and I look at the map right now, and I'm not really sure what Alliance can do, objective-wise, like to further their map advantage. And by going this Desolator, you're pretty much saying that's what you want to do. If you want to go continue to force the issue, while if you had just gone Battle Fury, you would be content trading farm because PA scales better than Riki. So I'm really skeptical of Nikobaby's plan of this game, and just like I was skeptical of what OG was doing earlier, I'm skeptical of what his vision of the game is.
Oh, they will manage to get the kill on the set. Mid one finds FNG though. Mid one and Topson, they're seeing if they can get back in on this. Topson, controlled by the Yules and Alliance, completely splitting. Mid one won't be able to find any kills, but again, just finding the space to continue to get his ags done, and it's pretty much there. So again, just all things said and done, when you look at the lane that mid one was given at the start, the beginning he was having, 20 minutes in, he's got his ags Battle Fury. This is brilliant timing for the Riki.
So what skipping the Battle Fury does for Nikobaby is that usually you go Battle Fury, Deso BKB. But now since he's removed the Battle Fury, his BKB timing will be a bit earlier than it would otherwise have been. So the fact that it's going to have maybe a minute or two earlier BKB, but his later timings will be delayed, it just means that they really have to hit that timing hard. That's what I'm looking for. I always go in the assumption that these players know more than I do about this scenario, so I expect that's what he's probably going to look for. As OG wants to get to tier 1, as LIMMP falling out as best he can.
See how much Alliance can do to slow down this push. S4 standing forward, but immediately the vessel's down onto him. It's the follow-up combo. He's caught the smoke screen. We're going to see him try and jump over towards the squishies. He's looking for the Shadow Demon. He'll get it. Big crit comes out from Nikobaby as No-Tail falls. S4 still alive, chains himself away. The vessel continued to tick him down though. Topson him with a chase. Another burst combo takes out S4. The damage from the tricks of the trade sets up for another as mid-one gets the kill. And now Nikobaby, he's isolated alone. The stolen to simulate from Saksa, giving him the ability to dodge to the side, keep himself away from the PA. PA getting controlled by Topson and Seb as there's another dead. S4 brought back here in an attempt to turn this fight around, but he's just alone. The vessel down upon him. Another plan put in place as S4. He's got to be careful. He brought back for this. He's trying to get out the start of the detail, but Topson blinks it again. It's a dieback on S4 here at 22 minutes. And the numbers, it's 14 to 14, less than 1k in. But you really can't help but feel that Alliance is really losing any sort of momentum this game. And the mid-one's Riki is going to become a big, big problem.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
When I say PA scales better than Riki, that's assuming they both have the same farm. The one is 3,000 net worth ahead already, and he went Battle Fury Axe. Kills creep waves instantly. You see top here, he just pushes his third spell, and boom, they're dead. On the other hand, PA, he's being forced to fight. He has a fighting build. He's died twice ever since buying it. I legit think this could just be a misread from Nikobaby. I think OG is punishing this, like, sense that Alliance had that they could continue forcing the issue. They were being aggressive with the Timbersaw when they had Spirit Vessel but no Yules, and now they're trying to fight in a time that it appears was too early for PA to be able to fight here, because even though he went for these fighting items, he's kind of just died to the tiny, overwhelming damage and the control coming out from the Brewmaster. Spirit Vessel owning. Yeah, it's pretty sick from Seb. I really do think, like, OG had to play this near flawlessly to punish what Alliance is doing here, so it's more impressive to me what OG is doing than it is, you know, the shortcomings of what Alliance has had happen recently.
We're going to have OG entering into the pit. Will be scanned out by Alliance. See if they're going to be able to try and put up a fight to push OG off this objective. We have Seb, and Seb just 100 gold away from having Aghanims himself. And it looks like even with the scan Alliance, they're not looking to do anything about this. They don't feel confident of taking a fight around the pit in this moment where Nikobaby's still a few hundred gold off the BKB. So OG, they're going to be able to get this one for free.
Are scanning. Roshan has fallen into the Radiant.
I think one of the hardest things to do in Dota is to accept that you can't do anything about what the other team has. And I think what the secret to OG's success this game was to accept that they could absolutely do nothing about the Timbersaw. So the game as Seb dies to the LIMMP solo plus the Nature's Prophet ulti. And I don't know if you've checked it out, Owen, but have you looked at Topson's item queue?
Yeah, he's nearly got it, dude.
He's committing.
He is committing. It wasn't a meme. It's, as you said, if any player's going to do it, if anyone's going to rush the straight upgraded blink, it would be Topson. I mean, what do you think about it? I mean, it's going to add a lot of damage to his combo, right? And it's going to be something else that's going to be very hard for Alliance to run away from when he's in with that slide.
I think it's all about the control. You see people in the Riki specific area as well.
That's true. Yeah, very true. And bottom lane, I mean, S4, after what was such a solid start with the way that he was able to play around the map, get the, the tier ones as early as he did with the pressure, his game has just taken a massive hit at this stage.
Yeah, Timbersaw, he's feast or famine. He's either unkillable or he's a pinata because he's used to be unkillable and now you just feed off of the candy inside. I look at this overwhelming blink from Tiny, and I actually asked myself, what would be like a better item? What does Tiny need to do his job in this game? I can't really think of anything. He's just going to be a blink combo anyway, so might as well make that blink combo that much more potent as it's now an AoE slow, and it also does, at this point, about 340 damage. He blinks in.
That's a fair amount, and then of course adding into extra bit of damage he's going to have with the punch, thanks to the strength and that general tankiness. I mean, it all checks out. A very nice hero to get this item on. And yeah, the slow, as you say, I mean, it's a very strong slow. 6 seconds slow. 50% movement speed. Mid lane, Topson coming in onto the two of them. As you can see, Handsken, he's going to really struggle to run away from this sort of initiation now. Anytime that Topson's in with the overwhelming blink, you cannot run.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That will be a free kill here for the side of Ryan. While I say that, Topson's going to come over the counter play. Nikobaby has to put the BKB and run away. First charge down, and he's having to use it to retreat. S4 has been found in the trees. He's trying to get his way out of there, but there's just so much damage. And now midone with the full Daedalus at 27 minutes in. He's ready to start kicking out those 1K crits.
Yeah, this is when Riki looks absolutely disgustingly broken. He's this far ahead with these items against these fragile heroes coming out from Alliance. A really high win rate against Nyx and pubs, by the way, guys, if you're having some trouble with Nyx. Really hard to stun somebody who's invulnerable during the damage that they deal.
See if they can get him there once. I don't think they're going to be trying it for a second time right now.
It's probably the last time midone hits a building this game. Probably what he realizes there. Kind of the nature of Riki. The hero's kit is all about the informational advantage that he gains by being invisible and then being able to jump you, so that is very counterintuitive to hitting buildings. But he had the Aegis there, so it's not like he lost anything major. Back to farming.
Very juicy rune as well there at the river. DD there, they'll go and pick it up. And looking for the setup here onto midone. They've got the trap with the remnant, but a nice save here from Notel with the disruption. The follow-up is there from Handsken, who comes in with the stun, and there's crits are there this time in the hands of Nikobaby as they take down midone. See what more they can get from this Nikobaby over towards Saksa. They'll get a second. Alliance, can they get more from this? They're trying to chase down Step. He comes out of the split. This is out though. Nikobaby's ready to jump over, and finally, Alliance able to get the team fight in the way that they hoped for. Enabling Nikobaby, allowing him to go from target to target, and starting things off by taking down that Riki.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. There's no way you're farming your way back into this game for Alliance. Really good move by them. I love watching it. Like I said, I'm skeptical of what the PA's items were in terms of the timing, but this is exactly what they flourish at, and despite being down, they have identified exactly what they need to do to win this game, and I always trust they know better. I love to watch it. I love the fact that FNG is going these nice enabling items. He's basically giving his PA extra net worth. He's got drums, he's got a solar, he's going a soul cuirass after that. This is just effectively giving Nikobaby an item or two. Comes to that carry-to-carry matchup as the game goes on, that can definitely tilt the balance in Nikobaby's favor, even if Riki is higher net worth.
And yeah, a fan of this was seeing it first time this patch as well. You know, Notel getting the bots nice and early on his Shadow Demon.
Of course, yeah. Just normal
just
Boots
OG
of Travel, Shadow Demon timing, yeah. I think Boots of Travel can offer so many things to different heroes. One of which can be like split pushing away from your team. I think in the case of Shadow Demon, it's that he can show up to fights and ganks because he's like that crucial +1 to offer that extra damage. I think that's what he's going for here.
Topson. Tripped up. Got to be cautious though. Topson has this DD ready to go for the next jump. He's going to pop it now. Alliance, they want to try and find this Seb. The split. As Alliance themselves looking to separate. He's going to see the jump on an Noto. Noto has to buy back. They're instantly taken down with a big crit. Seb has the control onto LIMMP. See Nikobaby focusing down Topson with this BKB up. He's getting the work done. A second kill for Nikobaby. The BKB does now come to an end though, so he has to be careful of the chase here, but he's out with a blink. Off to the side. OG try and turn their efforts towards S4, but he's put underneath the tier 2. Actually thinking about chasing back in on this. Dust still out onto mid.
Mana burn stolen. That's super annoying for us. You gotta love the entering the carries mindset from mid one. He had the Aegis and he queued up the butterfly, dies with the Aegis, then dies afterwards, and suddenly the BKB. Well, it looks like I'm gonna need one of those. We've all been there, I'm sure. Do you usually buy BKB after your third Battle Fury, Owen, or when do you usually go for it?
I usually buy it in the next game.
Oh, of course, of course.
You can see a little bit of the old rat-tat-tat here from FNG. Instantly put to a stop.
I also think what No Tail is doing with the Boots of Travel is that somebody at all stages of the game is going to have to deal with this annoying split push. And honestly, nobody else really wants to. Tiny wants to be ganking, Riki wants to be farming while looking to be the +1. Brewmaster is the frontline team fight, so he's probably the best candidate. Probably enough.
Getting aggressive here by the tower, looking to take out No-Tail. OG's there with a response. They lose No-Tail, but mid-one, he's found the setup straight in onto FNG with tricks the trade. He gets the crit, heads down the profit. See what more they can look for. LIMMP committing with the BKB, he's got the catch. Onto the Riki, Nikobaby's there with a follow-up. Another crit in. As Nikobaby takes down mid-one. I mean, mid-one's down for 80 seconds. Alliance, they are pulling these fights out effortlessly now. Despite this period of the game where mid-one's farm was starting to get ahead, they're controlling and killing the Riki. This is a huge amount of time. Riki's out of the game. Alliance is going to be able to put a huge amount of pressure onto the base. Topson. He's trying to slow them down. I mean, they'll just start moving over towards him. The stone's on him. Nikobaby's able to follow. Topson's dead. No buyback on him either. I mean, all the tier 2s have been taken. They've got a lot of space Alliance to at least take one set of racks. Maybe even more with the fact that these buybacks aren't up.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Yeah, this is, I always say I'm either right or I'm learning. And I'm learning a lot this week.
Yeah, this is, I mean, this is just, you know, it's clear now that this is the plan that Alliance had all along.
Yeah.
They were just playing for this 30 minutes, group up and go. It didn't matter if Farm was going to be there on mid-one. They felt confident in the initiation. We've seen pretty much each time, you know, LIMMP and Handsken, they've been getting that opening onto the Riki, whether it be the Remnant or the Impale, and it's just ruined mid-one's game. It's been irrelevant how much farm he's had on him, because they're just blowing him up throughout the durations of the stuns that they have.
Yeah, it might be a bit of overconfidence from mid-one to go for the Daedalus before BKB, maybe like casual Crystallis before BKB. There's so many small mistakes that you can make in the game of Dota, and sometimes they just snowball into oblivion, as he's probably needed a BKB for the last 2 or 3 team fights now. As you said, Alliance has chain stunned him perfectly with the Ag's Void Spirit as well as the Impale from the Nyx, and PA represents the damage you need to kill him, and that's why this matchup's so good for PA. And you end up taking the blur evasion on Nikobaby, so Riki literally doesn't touch you. He's got 80% of it.
With this smoke move, they can catch one of the big boys. Maybe find Topson. They do. There's the opening. Nikobaby getting the bash straight up. The follow-up's there. Topson, he needs help. Is he going to get in time? No, they're all bailing on him. They can't save Topson. As out for 80 seconds again. Alliance just blowing this game wide open now. 7k lead for them. DD rune popped on Nikobaby. He can really start to continue to keep this pressure on. I mean, the smoke's up on OG, but I don't think they're going to be scared of too much. They'll look to take the Roche with this DD, heading over to the pit. But OG, I mean, they've just taken huge hits now in the last 5 minutes of play, and I think they're going to be pretty shaken up by all of this.
the seeds
I think they have to
afoot.
get an MKB or a Rapier on mid one. It looks like they're going to elect to actually just contest the Aegis. It's going to die so quickly, though.
They've got to get it. I don't think they're going to be able to get it soon enough. The damage from Nikobaby is taking it down too quickly, and he's got it. There's the kill. There's the Aegis. They're outside of the pit. They do lose LIMMP. Instant burst combo comes into play. Handsken though with a beautiful stun onto the two of them. The setups there onto No Tail. Stolen Impale thrown back here.
Bottom barracks are under
Will cause the death of Handsken. See what Nikobaby can clean up. He's jumping over. He's been able to find the first target. No Tail. Now he turns over towards midone. Midone popping the BKB, but he's having to run with this BKB. He's trying to get out of here. Step comes to a finish with the split. Remnant out, controlling him. Midone's trying to jump back in with the tricks. The trade. Has he got enough damage to kill Nikobaby? Nikobaby getting low, but the BKB's still good to go. As they've got a backup, they can't even kill Nikobaby the once hit, as they have to get back into position to protect their axe.
Yeah, they're just super durable on Alliance's side. All that blur evasion, the Timbersaw, and FMG doing exactly what Nature's Prophet does best. It's even better when it's just a 5 position. You do the same thing as a core Nature's Prophet would, maybe a bit slower, but every fight they're on a timer on the side of OG. And this is just kind of Riki. The nature of snowballing heroes, man. You either kill everybody in 1 second, or they end up being durable enough to not die at all. He is queuing up the Rapier. He knows
he needs it.
They're out this game.
Yeah. Especially with this AC Solar Crest build from FNG. That's perfect to have alongside it, this PA. And a PA now with the Ags complete. So it's going to be even harder to control in these fights.
Yeah, PA is always also good against Riki because Riki feeds the information game. He wants to jump you, and the Ags, Nikobaby shows he truly understands this matchup. It's obviously losing by anyway, but
he's going in on S4. There's a lot of backup here for S4. Midone, he's got to get on the retreat. Topson's able to get into the combo on the two of them. As he's found them, but LIMMP pops the cheese BKBs up. He's going to be fine. Silence onto Nikobaby. Nikobaby trying to run. The stun's there from the Brew. Can Step finish him the once. He can't. Nikobaby's still fine and good to go. Midone has to use the BKB to retreat. Stun comes out. They burst through the Aegis of Nikobaby. But also find the life of Handsken. Can they kill Nikobaby a second time? As he's standing to the side, still has the backup of LIMMP, FNG, and S4. Alliance.
so is BKB.
They still seem happy to go in on this LIMP. Starting things on Topson. Nikobaby looking for the perfect time to jump in. Still watching from the side.
No buyback on him.
First through LIMP. That is LIMP down for 100 seconds. Now Nikobaby looks to commit. In onto Step. That's going to be the Brew down. Now popping the BKB. Ties in on Topson. A buyback comes out for Step, but he cannot get in position to save Topson in time as Topson is down. They have caught S4 on the high ground as S4 not quite able to make it back out as easily as Nikobaby did. So S4 will get left behind here. Chase from Saksa, finding further setup onto FNG as OG look to try and get as much as they can off this defense, but they won't be able to stop the TP as the Prophet's away and Nikobaby's back in!
The sentry on
He
high.
finds the Riki! Saksa's got a ghost step to save himself,
middle barracks has
but
fallen into
Nikobaby
bottom
just
barracks
weaving
has fallen.
perfectly in and out of these fights. As he's just in again, he is diving into tier 4s. They do have the stone control. He's 20-second cooldown on the BKB. I mean, I guess weaving perfectly in and out of the fights until then. And they have indeed got what they came for. I don't think he's going to be too fussed with being dead for 90 seconds. He may not have buyback, but how much can OG do about this? Up against the Mega Creeps here at 39 minutes. Alliance, they're definitely tasting the victory here in this game. It feels very close to them if they can keep this up for one more fight and just push OG over the edge.
It was so crucial that midone survived that fight. His buyback here cost him so much time on his Rapier because I thought that was going to be the hardest hold for OG to get past. But the only reason that it was going to be the hardest one was because if midone survives, he'll have a Rapier for the next one. And that is their timing for OG. They have to somehow keep this game going for long enough to make that happen. This game has been wild back and forth. Every single time I think one team's favored to win the game, the other team seems to take the reins. So I almost have to believe at this stage that I would favor OG based on my interpretation of this game so far.
I mean, OG's definitely got to do something pretty wild to come back into
Dire's
this one
middle
right now.
tower is under attack.
death.
So they're on the probability 6% here for OG, 94 for Alliance, considering how well Alliance has done here in all of these fights and how well Nikobaby's just popped off with this build, and in a way that, you know, regardless of the farm that Mid One had early on, Mid One's still very much a vulnerability. If one of these carries gets caught out, it could be pretty much game for each team. As up top, Topson, he's caught out alone. And again, no buyback, still just a little short on the goal. 40 gold short of the buyback here, Topson Alliance. They're going to try and chase for more. S4 leading in. Pokes out a response from Midbon. Midbon actually jumping over to the small creek. Nikobaby's prepared with the dust. Midbon trying to hide in the tree, jumps over the cliff here with the tricks of the trade. He'll be able to get out of there. There'll be a buyback from Saksa. Seb committing with the split. See what Seb can chase down. He's trying to go on to S4, but with the hood and the bloodstone, S4's fine. Bottom lane, FNG going for a bit of split pressure. OG, they'll be able to punish it. As FNG caught on his own. They'll find themselves the kill.
Such a tall ask for OG here. They have to push lanes against Nature's Prophet, Negas, and the pickoff potential of an Axe, PA, and a Nixie Cell. They quickly are wrangled back into their base.
See Midbon trying to start the action here with Seb. As LIMMP, he's straining off the backline. He found the gas for the Saksa. He's ever bursting down over the stage. Comes in. The disruption gives Saksa a bit of time, but Handsken has the impale to follow it up. They've caught LIMMP. LIMMP is dead though. Damage is enough here from Midbon. And into the trees, they'll find Handsken as well. The cloud is down. Handsken, has he got any means of escape? He's trying. He's running through the trees, but they're on top of him once more. The tricks of trade will do it.
1,300 gold for that rapier.
He's closing on it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
To get that gem under their control. I mean, once he has the rapier, I mean, how hard is it going to be for Alliance to push into it? Like, do OG realistically have this chance to swing this game round with that rapier?
The big thing is that PA and BKB right now is invincible, but once he gets the rapier, that's not the case anymore. So it'll affect a lot about PA's ability to actually dish out damage in the fight, because Nikobaby will have to be much more selective about when he goes in. And yeah, I don't really know how OG consistently gets out on the map unless they kill heroes. So if Alliance doesn't really fight into them, I don't know how they get out, but I also don't know how Alliance goes high ground now, unless they kill OG. It's definitely a matter of who can get the initiation onto who around the map. As Riki, as he scales into the game,
Dire's middle tower
becomes
is under attack.
so obnoxious to deal with because you can't see him, and suddenly you're dead. As he now hits for almost 600 damage, ignoring backstab.
All right. I mean, they're up against the Megas, OG.
And he's got ninja gear. That's actually even more annoying. God, this game would be so annoying to play. You're dealing with an Axe PA, split pushing Nature's Prophet with ninja gear, and a Riki with a rapier. I don't know. Very enjoyable to watch, but I don't envy the people that have to play against this.
No, this is certainly a good one. As Alliance, you know, the fact that they have these Megas, they seem on the verge of victory, but it's only 5k between them, and this Riki with the rapier is it could definitely be a problem. It's going to be all down to the execution right now. Alliance.
You can get that level 25. 3 toss charges would.
OG this time round could give Alliance a pretty formidable fight around the pit, and Alliance know it. They're a little cautious on how they commit for this.
Dire are scanning.
They know that OG's going to come in and try and make the jump.
Radiant
And there it is. Actually, going to start things off. He looks to come in with the BKB there on the catch-out, takedown stack. Spike Carapace set up onto Seth with CS4 running towards the backlines, trying to split OG apart. Topson comes with the combo. Midone jumps over. The BKB coming out from Nikobaby as Nikobaby's out of the tricks of the trade. He's on the retreat. Midone's looking for a target. He chases down to get there. Simone plays down onto the PA and then got the damage with this rapier. Midone claims the double kill. See what S4 could do to put a stop to this. Midbone's actually keeping out. He's got to defend the base. He has to get back to the tier 4s. Seb's getting run down by S4. Can Seb get himself away from this? Another Yule's up. Fine time for LIMMP to close the gap. In with the remnants. Seb down for 2 minutes. Midbone's out on the map. He's got the silence onto LIMMP. Getting taken out. The crits come into play. Midbone gets the kill. LIMMP right back immediately. Nikobaby in with a bit of fast control, but Midbone's still got the BKB good to go. So the Avalanche dropped down. On the chase. He's over towards towards S4. S4 chaining out to the side. Another jump with a trick to the trade. That's PA down and out. A dieback on Nikobaby. Mid-one just tearing them apart here with the rapier.
Their base. Oh, got him. They'll just solo kill after G.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Brian, there's 2 heroes down for 2 minutes. How much can OG get done with this?
Has been
I don't know if they can get anything done.
Radiant's
That's the
middle
thing.
tower
It's like,
is
how do you
under
even get out of your base?
Dude.
I guess Nick's Prophet is dead now, but you're still dealing with Nick, so nobody can go alone.
I mean,
Anybody is susceptible.
Brian.
Mid one actually elects to carry the gem. Okay, never mind. He drops out. I'm curious if he's going to hold on to that.
And, you know, Mid-one, talk about big brain stuff. Do you like this? Queuing up an arcane blink, so he's got that extra spam ability on his spells.
Yeah, it's not just the spam ability, it's also the reach you have.
Yeah.
You're able to follow up your Topson combo from a much further distance. We've seen it before, I think in China region, they go for this arcane blink. I think it was, I can't even remember who did it first, but, Ame was doing it. It's pretty cool. It also lowers the cast point on Tricks of the Trade, which can sometimes be the difference maker when you're dealing with stuns and burst damage from Nyx.
Now OG, they're over to the pit.
They have Ags on Shatter Demon as well.
Yeah.
So suddenly that break that the panel was talking about during the draft is coming into play. I think there was a lot against PA too. I mean, Nikobaby's gonna struggle in these fights. Rapier for the damage threat and the break for the inability for him to deal damage.
I mean, they've got to find Mid-one right. If you don't catch this Riki at the start of the fights, Mid-one's just going to clean up every single time. And as we've seen,
Find the invisible guy, you know?
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, as you said, you know, you mentioned earlier, obviously OG, it's not necessarily easy for them to find the PA, but definitely even more difficult for Alliance to find the Rifty. As long as Mid-one's able to keep himself to the side and be truly confident in his whereabouts of Alliance's hero's positioning before he commits in. We're going for the Roche. Alliance are all back up. They're going to take this Roche down pretty quickly with that rapier damage.
It has to be quick because the lanes are pushing in.
So just scouting things out with the Wind Panda, able to hold people back as well. OG, they're going to be able to get this cleaned up. Who's taking what? Topson? He's going to take the axe. Now they're chased in. They've got the catch on the S4. LIMMP jumping in with the BKB, trying to help out. Can they burst him out? The base is dying, though. Tier 4s are falling. If Alliance could just sort of keep OG out and distracted, the Treants might just do it. The first tier 4 down, the second tier 4 down as well. As OG, they may be getting the kills, but they've got to get back. FNG's in, he's looking to close this round. The Treants are doing it. FNG's going to be able to end the game. He's got it, surely. Topson is trying to knock them off, but the creeps, they've finished it. Alliance will win the game. I mean, Alliance. I mean, it wouldn't be any other team on a sort of victory like that.